This episode of Rewired is supported by Neuroni. Over 20 years of experience and more than 500 companies served, Neuroni helps companies grow faster with AI tailored to their business and embedded into real workflows that deliver measurable value. Neuroni helps teams reduce friction, improve decision-making, and scale with confidence.
This was the only way that I could find in order to be able to do something that resonates with me as a person and to not be dependent on the technology itself, on the medium. Just to find a form of expression, but of my art, not my words. I had the opportunity to win the first world competition created by Tommy Hilfiger. And what helped me was the fact that I could understand the brand itself. I also had a pitch for Harvard University, a lot of keynotes around the idea about how what makes us humans actually in the AI space. So it's a person that is leveraging AI to create new fashion designs that are related to a concept, and you must take in consideration also the trends and the story of that specific brand.
We are in 2026. Every brand is being asked the same question right now. How do you use AI without losing what makes you recognizable? And every company is being asked a different version of the same question. How do you adopt actually as AI inside the organization that wasn't built for it? Most of them don't have a good answer to either. Our guest today, Irina, has been sitting at this exact problem since 2019, before most people knew what generative AI was. She builds a doctoral degree around deep learning and NLP. She was recognized by Tommy Hilfiger as a pioneer in AI fashion design in 2023. At Microsoft, she scaled Copilot adoption to 90% plus across 2,000 engineers, one of the largest internal AI deployments anywhere. In November 2025, she left Microsoft to build two AI native companies, iVergent, an AI production studio for premium brands, and Institute for Applied AI, where she teaches the methodology that made Microsoft roll out. Welcome to Rewired.
Rewired. Raw, real, unfiltered.
Friday again.
Friday.
Yeah, long week.
You don't believe.
So today we have a guest, and we are happy that you accepted the invitation. So we have with us Irina Raicu. Welcome.
Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. It's really a pleasure to be here with you today. And I can't wait to debate everything we can about AI.
We also thank you because we are struggling to diversify the guests, and actually you are helping us in that, because at the beginning we get the feedback, hey, only guys. So we are trying all the time to improve that, and today actually with your help we achieved that. So who are you and what are you doing?
I think this is the most difficult question I need to answer because I'm doing a lot of things and I'm doing them very well, as we can see. So I started to work with AI 10 years ago. So I started my career as a programmer, and I didn't like so much to be a programmer, so I switched to product management. And in product management, I had the opportunity to work with technologies as business process management and robotic process automation, RPA and BPM, everything related to automation of business processes. I had the chance as well to work outside Romania at that moment, and it was for me a really great opportunity because I was most exposed to the innovation in that period of time. I worked and lived in UK, France, Italy, Greece, and Austria.
Nice.
For several years. And my passion actually with AI started at IBM. I was in a team and we participated in an international competition. We tested IBM Watson and we won the first prize and the first place in Europe with a home automation solution.
When was that?
In 2014.
Whoa.
So a while ago, where IBM
early.
Watson was in testing phase. And then I continue my careers as a product manager, developing AI products. I work also for banking and financial institutions. And I led different teams of data scientists, machine learning engineers. We really had a lot of interesting projects into this area. And in 2022, I joined Microsoft as a senior product manager working on AI technologies. So this was a combination between my research skills, programming skills, business skills, product management skills. And here I am today. I founded the Institute for Applied AI because I'm very passionate about education. I also finished a PhD in AI. And I serve as an assistant professor for 1 year to the Bucharest University of Economic Studies. And I love to share the knowledge, and I want to give back to the people everything I learned. So right now I'm running a cohort with Antenna Academy.
Okay.
On the creative side, which we will speak a bit more in details. And I think people are misunderstanding this new wave of AI, and they are blocked in different concepts. And from my experience in AI, I would love to develop comprehensive programs so everyone to be well skilled in this new area of AI. On another note, because I haven't finished.
Okay.
I have already like 3 questions.
My passion for art. So during my PhD thesis, because I'm a creative person, I wanted to do different experiments. And at that moment, we used to have neural networks for generating text and for generating images. This was before transformers and before generative AI. And I found out in 2019 in a research paper that I can create art with AI. At that moment, Google was launching an inception framework, and it was style transfer. So what used to be known as filters in Photoshop actually was a neural network called neural style transfer. And it represented actually a combination of 2 images. So you will take 2 images and combine the parameters from the both of them, and at the end you will obtain a final result. And of course, with this advancement, I stayed super passionate about art, and I finished my PhD thesis and presented in 2020. Pandemics came. What I'm going to do, because I used to work in parallel to my PhD thesis and to work at the same time, so I continue my passion with art. And I exhibited actually first time in South Korea in 2020. And then I started to invest more time into this. I jumped on the first neural network that was able to receive as inputs also text and images, and to generate
already
artworks.
On the generational side? Or
Yes.
Transformers already?
No, this was more on style transfer, other type of architectures. So nothing related to my PhD thesis that was in language models. Like the grandpa of ChatGPT. Or grandma.
2 years later, grandpa.
Yeah.
And I continued to invest a lot of time. It was very interesting because at that moment I used to stay like 6 hours and wait for an artwork to be generated, or 6 weeks. The beginning was very difficult. And it was also difficult to translate and to use AI as a medium for creating art, because in art you have to have a composition, you have to have different elements. And what will you do in AI, because you can't customize very well. So I invested a lot of time to bring AI art closer to visual arts, because all the people in the industry at that moment, they were just doing blurry faces or different kind of artworks that were not really looking like a final artwork. So I invested a lot of time into coming closer and closer to visual arts. Then MidJourney dropped, and I continued my passion. And in 2023,
when MidJourney dropped, how did it? How do you feel? Do you feel that it robbed something from you, or it unlocked all the possibilities?
I think it unlocked all the possibilities. At the beginning, when I started to work with AI art, I was wondering myself, okay, what will be my contributions, my contribution as an artist? So I used to paint and draw sketches for fashion, and I used to train that specific model with my own assets so I can personalize, because in the end, the most important fact in art represent the signature as an artist. You must have a signature, and just using text is not possible. You have to have more than AI as a medium. And even today is the same approach and the same principle. You have to understand how really art is about. It's about the concept. It's about what you bring into that as an artist, because you have to have a lot of manual work outside the AI, and how you can leverage actually AI to become a better artist. I think here is the category where I went through, because I didn't spend my life learning how to paint or how to draw, rather than studying computer science. And from the passion that I had for art, with my creativity, my story, and the technology, I leveraged technology actually to become a better artist that I could be in the past.
So, in order for me to understand, right now you are generating art mainly through using reference images and also prompts, and based on after that you are extracting you are retrieving the information, the images, and you are adding more value to them by intervening directly on them. Is this correct?
It's customization. So everything that I give as an input was manual work that I was doing to AI. Today is not the case, because people are just prompting. But if we look, and we will speak about how the production is working today, you really need to have customization of your data and to be on that specific brand identity. Same principles apply on the art side. It's very interesting, and so
to have the context. So when you want to create a new piece of work, to get for the large language model, let's say, but it's not necessarily a large language model, to give it all the context that it needs to have the brand identity in store.
Yes, so actually is at that moment where we were talking about diffusion models. So each image was annotated via text. So from here, I think it's also this correlation between LLMs and diffusion models, but in essence, they are different architectures, different neural networks. And this was the only way that I could find in order to be able to do something that resonates with me as a person, and to not be dependent on the technology itself, on the medium, just to find a form of expression, but of my art, not my words.
And right now, based on what I'm seeing, is the fact that art is democratized, meaning that it's access for each of us is able to generate art that he was not able to generate yesterday, which is perceived to have value. Yeah. How do you see this going in future? Do you see artists getting more specialized and able to generate content or art that will be clearly very specific and unique, or the personal talents will be diffused and they will be very difficult to identify a piece of art that was created by an artist versus a piece of art that was created by a regular citizen? It's an internal joke. I was referring to non-developers as regular citizens.
Like me. I'm a regular citizen.
Well, I think, first of all, there were studies that shown that people don't distinguish an AI-generated art from an art created manually. But I don't think it's okay to compare, because AI as a medium is in research right now. So we can't say that if you are using MidJourney or this type of tools, you are a real artist. Because it's AI, it's statistics that are creating some pixels based on your words. So this is not enough for you to be an artist. MidJourney is not a medium. Everyone says that is a collaborator, but collaborator in what sense? what is your essence as an artist. Or there are also another type of artists that are called mixed media, which combines classic painting with AI printing, printed artworks, which is not really, from my point of view, is not really the medium that makes you a real artist. I think an artist is also a person with a background in arts, understand very well the concepts, understand very well the medium, understand very well where is your contribution. So if we think about art, myself as a person, for instance, if I used to draw in the past, so let's say in my 15 years, I used to do a lot of drawings on fashion. Right now, I have other experience of life, which I will draw the same sketches in another way. So AI can't, you can't integrate this experience in your AI right now. It's very difficult. And I think this is what makes a person or an artist, its own way of saying things, the way that takes an idea from your head, the process, it actually is what is common. Like the process can be executed via pencil or via brush or via AI. But the experience that we have as a person, it's very difficult right now to be captured in the same way as you will capture by drawing it.
So the artist of the future will be defined more about the process that he's going than through the output that he's generating. So you'll be able to recognize an artist mainly about the process that he's going through in order to generate the art. Is this relatively correct?
I don't like to think about the artist of the future because I think the artist is still the person with the strong story that is capable to communicate their experience to the audience. I do believe that there is an interesting category of AI art, and I think it's before MidJourney, which may be interesting as a value as an artist, rather than today when, as I said, you just have some words, even if that prompt came from your mind. It's just the execution part from the entire artistic process. And maybe you will think about the concept, but it's not enough. You really need to integrate that experience somehow. And there is a research open questions today, how we are going to do that experience to be part of this process and when we can call AI as an artistic medium.
I'm going a little back when you were describing the things that you're doing. Was there anything else you'd like to add on that? You talk a little about the institute that you're doing. You talk a little about your passion about the fashion. Is there anything else that today you are involved?
Yes. So I think I'm always open to learn. So I took all the opportunities that I had. So today I'm also involved in different innovation projects for different startups. And I'm also a judge next week for one of the biggest competitions, students competitions from Microsoft. Because and I will judge the startup that will receive $100,000 and the meeting with Satya Nadella for the next week. So I'm very passionate about everything that is innovation. And coming back to, apart from art, because I haven't been known as an artist initially, but I've been known as an AI fashion designer. I had the opportunity to win the first world competition created by Tommy Hilfiger. And what helped me was the fact that I could understand the brand itself, so the essence and the story behind Tommy Hilfiger and how I can execute it with AI. And this opportunity brought me on the largest stages of this world. I was speaking for Cannes Lions. I was also invited in different conferences in London, in US. I also had a pitch for Harvard University, a lot of keynotes around the idea about how what makes us humans actually in the AI space. And my only advantage was the fact that I can execute very well a brand story via AI, and I can understand also the brand story, because we speak about two different words. And even for me, it was complicated at the beginning to understand the both words.
So I have two questions here. One is we were discussing about the fact that today I have an episode with some friends. I said I have this person tomorrow, and she's an AI fashion designer, and they were like, "What's that?" So for people who don't really know what an AI fashion designer is, how would you explain it?
So it's a person that is leveraging AI to create new fashion designs that are related to a concept, and you must take in consideration also the trends and the story of that specific brand. This is the standard definition. But also there is a second part that was very popular for me, and this is how I got to collaborate with different luxury brands, my own creative direction.
Okay.
So brands appreciated the way that I can describe an idea and how innovative I can become using their own brand and express my creativity. And this is very important for brands, for one of them that wants to experiment with different creative ideas and wants to... these are the startups that are open to these are brands that are open to innovation and wants to see new things or to evolve with their existing collection and what they are doing.
Okay.
I'm curious about the thing.
Okay, yes,
I'm curious about the thing. So when a company of this type is coming towards you, are they looking at innovation? So they are looking innovation in art or in communication, in fact, yeah, in their not in their brand, because you are generating art for their communication purposes generally.
So brands came to me because of my personal brand.
Okay.
And because they trust me that I can use AI into a responsible way. So every brand must be careful not to break their brand when they are using AI. This is the industry problem, especially when we talk about luxury or we talk about brands, premium brands. And they appreciated my way of seeing things. And this is called creative direction. So we work especially on everything related to creative production, campaigns, everything that was communicating a story for their customers.
So they are looking at innovation in order to be able to differentiate compared to their competitors, or they are looking at innovation in order to improve let's say, the pipeline or the timeline that the campaigns have, or to modify and increase their throughput of communication that they are doing. What are they looking at? What are they looking for?
At the beginning, so today they are looking to something else, but at the beginning they were looking to jump on a new trend because brands are working on trends. So they wanted to be innovators and they want to be the first in the market. It's very important for a brand to be the first in the market. So this was the main objective of those brands. Second, as I said, to find people to work towards the creative direction and to test new things according to that specific trend. Today, we see a switch and we see a combination between the traditional production, when we speak about campaigns, even on social media content. I'm not sure if you are aware, but Zalando, everything that we see today on online is generated fully with AI.
Strong.
It was a conference a
week
ago, and the CEO of Zalando, the co-founder, was showing into a conference to Berlin all the content and everything that they were able to generate with AI. Also, Mango, it's another brand that has inside their own AI tool, AI models, and so on and so forth. All the production and campaigns are produced with AI. So there is no so hard to produce with AI. What is hard is to produce what is needed and to respect also the people work, to do it into a responsible way. In France, for instance, from 2024, we have produced, and I collaborated with different big agencies. There were a lot of campaigns, and there are a lot of campaigns that have been produced. but they never been deployed in production. They have never been
reached
life because of two issues. One issue is on PR. What do we tell to our customers that we use the AI to create this campaign? And this is a PR issue.
Yeah.
The second one is legal.
Legal from what perspective?
For instance, if you are using using public models or frontier models versus customized models in-house, and even if you are implementing in-house when these models
so the challenge is with the frontier models, like if I'm using let's say Grok right now because it's very good in images generation, is there a problem in France with this?
I think globally, especially in Europe, because you speak about the frontier model, but how you make sure that, for instance, if you want to produce a new campaign, how you make sure your data stays private, first of all, secured, and you won't have a leak of data, because especially in fashion, we see collections produced with 6 months in advance.
I have a similar discussion with a lot of partners and clients, yeah? And the idea is about training data, yeah? So theoretically, based on what I know, but I think you are much better suited to clarify this issue. When you have a subscription to a service, like for example, Claude or GPT or whatever, yeah? Based on the terms and conditions, they are obliged not to use your data in training, yeah, and that would mean that my data that I'm communicating to the large language model is as secure as the data that I'm holding into the Microsoft Cloud 360, like on my email. This is my perception over this. Is it different than this?
It's different in the sense that the brands, as I mentioned, they produce their innovation, their collections with several months in advance, even years.
So they are very afraid of a leak.
Exactly, and the issue with the frontier models is the fact that it can't respect your brand identity. You have to work towards a customization of that specific, let's say, collection you want to do. So you, as a brand, you have to redesign the entire business process. For instance, you have to prepare the data, you have to prepare the model. Most of the brands, they prefer to use open source models, but also to be deployed in secure environments like technologies from cloud technologies from the big providers. And after that, you are not sure how the verification of those outcomes, this was in the past, are respecting the brand identity. So it's a problem because in a big brand, in a luxury house, let's take LVMH group, all the Kering group, which has multiple brands. You have the data, the customer data actually stays with the marketing team, with their account executives. The teams that are producing campaigns are purely production teams, yeah. Which can be like one team to do the creative direction, the other one the execution. And we have also the legal team. And if you really want to change the way they are working, you have to redesign everything. The data to come from combine exactly, and to combine it with IT. So you really need to have an entire process. So that's why it was not easy for luxury brands at the beginning to adopt AI. But now today things change. So most of the brands are focusing on having a production workflow in-house. Developed it depends what was the objective of that team. So the production workflows can be different, from the social media to produce a new collection or to have a mood board. So it depends a lot of the business outcome they want to achieve. And it's also this problem how we are going to use AI for our brand, because not all the brands can use AI in the same way. The customers are different, the audience is different, and you can use AI just for specific purposes. Let's take beauty brands.
Okay.
I wouldn't trust a beauty brand that has UGC generated with AI, that's for sure. Even if my hair doesn't look like in the before AI advertisement, I wouldn't trust such a brand. But beauty brands, and L'Oreal is popular, that is doing a lot of investment in AI to show you an ad, to show you commercials, or to create different immersive experiences. Because this is another category of the brands, to create immersive experiences for their customers, and here is where AI has the maximum impact. So it depends a lot in the business objective that brand has, and in what direction to go with AI.
So in order to understand how is it working right now for a company that was able to adopt AI into their let's call social media department, they have a model that it's locally deployed, that was fine-tuned with the collection materials that they have. And then the social media team is using it in order to generate new and fresh content in the brand guidelines much quicker than it was needed previously. Instead of having a photo shoot and generating a niche set of material that will be good for 9 weeks or 12 weeks and paying 50K for this, they are using this type of process. Do I understand it correctly?
No.
Okay, good.
Because you mix two different types of business, let's say, outcomes. So we have the production part in the sense, okay, what I want to produce for my brand, how the new packages, for instance, will look like, or how the new designs for the new fashion collection will look like. And this is a different process and a different team from the team that is handling social media. For the team that is handling social media, and even is an entire department that I've been able to automate for my own business, is different because here you need a customization, but a customization not on your design. So here is not really about innovation, just for AI to learn from the past, how you used to do that social media strategy, content, and so on. So you will have workflow, a system that is composed, let's say, by multiple agents that are working together. And what we can do today with AI, we can go to a conversational interface, let's say even Claude. So we don't need something sophisticated. Let's address this for small brands. How I will approach AI as a small brand. I don't have a budget for social media, and I want to use and populate my account. I will install Claude. Claude has different plugins, skills, agents that you can create. You can schedule your post. You can connect to different AIs through the MCP part. So through MCP is that specific part of an AI that allow us to consume other application rather than the current application. I can go, let's say, to Higgsfield, and I can run a command from Claude directly to Higgsfield and to generate to me multiple assets. Of course, here you don't really need a lot of creative direction for this type of, let's say, easy task to do for social media. But for a premium brand, you do. And you need multiple agents behind the scenes, in the sense that I have an agent, for instance, that understands the brand identity and helps me to create the images for campaigns that I want to run over this year. Easter, Christmas, Valentine's Day, and so on and so forth. So I'm going to use that specific model, and it's the human-assisted process. So it's not a simple chatbot. It's not a simple connection to Claude and to a Claude project. Is more sophisticated than that. It's an entire process that has human assisted. And in this process, you run automatically. So before you could go and run step by step, and you will spend a lot of days in iterating. Here you can do some customization on the parameters, and at the end you can have, let's say, 200 images in under 30 minutes. From these images, you will select. So you have the judgment as a human.
There, so you can take the decision.
Exactly, and go forward and generate the videos, and then you will edit manually or not. Usually, right now for high end, you really need manual editing, but it's possible also to use AI to edit a video today. And this is the standard process that is happening right now.
Generally, for video, are you relying on Higgsfield or and that base model, or depends very much on the client?
Myself and in our team, we don't use Higgsfield at all. I don't like the platform so much. So and also when I'm teaching, because I'm teaching creative AI for advertising, I'm teaching people to do their custom workflows. We don't rely anymore on frontier models. So right now the outcome is the most important part. And everything that we do with AI, we must have in mind, what can I achieve with AI right now? What I want to do.
So right now you are relying on local models mainly, on open source?
No, all the models. So there are platforms that allows you to integrate all the models in one single interface. So it's mostly like
Artlist or something like this.
Yes, Flora AI is one of it. FreePic is another one, which was right now rebranded into Magnific AI. They have different, all the models, like 40. There
available.
Are, yes, over 40 models for image generation, the same for video generation. And you have a benchmark of models. So right now I'm not looking on market, what is the new model, what I can use. But I have a benchmark on different use cases. For instance, to generate a logo, I use a specific benchmark of models, 3-4 models. We don't need to experiment with a lot of models. And when I'm designing this process also can automatically select for me the frontier model that works better for the purpose of my...
based on their needs, based on
my need. So I start and define a flow, and let me be specific. Let's say that we want to do a campaign right now for this podcast.
For REWIRED, yes.
So we need several pictures with us, and then I will use these pictures and I will put into this workflow, and then I want AI to help me to be faster. Okay, I won't stay and write the prompts from the very beginning, because my system already knows the way that I'm prompting. So I will connect to a component that is related to Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, which will help me to write the prompts for our campaign. I will split the prompts, let's say a list of 10 prompts, because we want to generate, let's say, 10 images. Then the prompts are automatically split. Each prompt will generate me an image. And at the end, I will generate based on these outcomes, on this image generated, plus a new concept for the video, generate new prompts for the video, and at the end it will produce for me the videos of 3, 6, 10 seconds per image. And this can be fully automatically. Now I describe the way that I will create it.
Are you stitching them automatically one to each other in order to create the full experience, or are you relying on manual support for that? So you have created 10 seconds videos and I want a 1 minute. Is it automatic stitching it together, or you do it by hand?
Sometimes I'm using different models to understand and to see if we can do this automatically, but most of the time we do manually. For the premium brands, yes, manually. For social media, it's also, for instance, right now Seedance, which is a powerful model, and you can connect several images, and at the end you have a very powerful 15 seconds video. So for social media, it's okay, but for fully campaigns, you need more customization.
Have you tested the new Grok? Launched the new Super Grok feature that they have for generating images and videos?
Yes.
I'm curious, how is it from your point of view right now? Because I didn't have time to test it.
So I think right now, if we speak in terms of video, I think Veo, Grok, Seedance are the best on the market right now. But as I mentioned, it depends on the use case. Sometimes it will work better. Usually, the system that we developed is running in an iteration. So it's running on over and over again all the models from this benchmark that we created, because we want to compare the outcomes. But this comes also with a cost, because it's important to discuss also about the cost. better experimentation will lead to a more consumption of the generative
tokens.
credits.
Yeah. So on comparing the outcomes, are you relying on LLM judge approach, or are you doing it manually and like a person involved?
We try to implement also agents that can help curating.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, it doesn't have our artistic
approval.
expertise and artistic experience. So when I need to be very creative, like I have an image with a story behind the scenes and I want a more human touch into it, I prefer to select it manually. That's why the workflow, it's very fast. So in 15 minutes, you will have all the components needed for a campaign.
15 minutes, 1.5.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's very fast.
So
and for social media, it's even faster because we can generate and create content. It's much faster rather than, for instance, think about reopening of, let's say, a brand. They want to do a reopening. Here you have to think more and to come with the creative direction.
So when brands are coming to you, they are coming, I want to help me to build the pipeline to be operated by my internal team, or I want you to help me build the pipeline and manage it and come up with your artistic input all the time and have a management, like taking over the responsibility of a content generation company or something like this.
Yeah, both of the approaches, because sometimes, so usually brands are working with agencies right now to produce their content. So not many brands, except the premium ones, have in-house teams. And they are looking for an agency that can be faster and can even execute by themselves, like we do. Some of them, they want to operate internally, so we create different pipelines, and these pipelines are so different for each customer. That's why I think is this issue in the industry, because people are expecting from the basic AI, from the frontier model, to do a super personalized and customized work. And believe me, it's very easy today to do this comparing with 2 years ago.
I know. Yeah, it's indeed. Now, considering the users and the consumers of this podcast, probably one question that would be on their mind would be, how expensive would it be for you to build this type of service for my small company? So like, how big my company should be in order to afford it? The other way of putting the question.
So usually you need at least 2 persons to build a pipeline, a powerful pipeline, and you must be sure that everything that you build for the customers is also scalable. Another issue that everyone is facing in the industry right now, how you design processes and solutions, technical solutions, to be scalable in the future, because most of them don't see the light of production. Indeed, it's expensive, so our audience is not really small, medium brand, or at least not from Romania. So we focus on for instance, an SMB from US is different from an SMB from Romania.
Very different.
So that's why I build also the education part, so people can have access and learn how to build for themselves. Because I believe right now it's very important also to understand what you can do with AI, but also how you can build it for yourself. The execution became accessible to people that are not technical. So I think for a small brand, you don't need the same complexity as another premium brand will have.
So I understand from this that they should just ask, because it might be fitted for them.
I want to move a little.
Yes, and I wanted to add something. So because I did a bit of research on Romania market, it's very different. So it may cost you in Romania. It will be more. How can I say this? Sorry. So I think in Romania will be more suitable to see if a traditional way of producing will suit your brand better than AI. It depends a lot on the audience. But for a small brand, I think taking 2-3 tools, you can really, even if you will have a big cost, you can do a good work.
You know, want to ask you a little about the other part of you. At the beginning of the podcast, you said, well, I really like to share back with the people. So you told us about the fact that you were for 1 year teaching at the university, but you also have this Creative Age AI Accelerator. First of all, what's driving that? I mean, what's driving your desire to share back with the people the things that you learned?
Well, I think I can learn better.
Okay.
When you teach, you really learn.
That's correct.
And there is a lot of information that I'm reading every day, and there is a lot of information that I have in my own mind. And teaching is helping me, first of all, to structure all the information that I have. It is very rewarding at the end.
Okay.
Because I think right now in AI, and especially in the creative AI space, my engineering way of seeing things really helped me to teach something that is very hard to teach. Creativity, I don't think can be taught. So it comes from experience. You have to let the people to think in non-traditional ways. And when I started this program, it was very difficult for me because at Microsoft, all the upskilling programs that I was doing are based on my 15 years of experience in big tech.
Okay.
Here is based on my own personal experience, and of course based on my hands-on, what I was managing to deliver for the brands. So it was very challenging. And comparing with the other people that are teaching creative AI, because I'm looking, I think it was a successful program, because I'm going and teaching the way to think about AI.
Okay.
To understand. I'm relying a lot on practical examples, so 90% is practical. I'm giving to people directly the briefs from the clients that we have, and most of my customers from US are also very happy because I'm doing this, because they are seeing a lot of new ideas for the brand. And I even added someone on. I have a platform where I'm
Okay.
On behalf of the institute, I have a platform where I put pre-recorded and some materials in advance to the live workshops, because I want live workshops to be fully practical and hands-on. So my students, when they come to our live workshops, they know that I will speak for just 1 hour, and for the rest of the hours, they will work. And I'm giving them the stage, so I'm preparing a pack of exercises, and we are creating different things together, campaigns, a brand. And it was very important for me to adapt, because when I'm teaching, for instance, in a B2B environment to a brand, I don't have to come with basics, like what is a brand, what are the marketing principles, social media, and so on. And here I have an audience that is
very diverse
globally.
In terms of,
yes. And not all the people understand what is a brand. So I'm dedicating time to focus on these principles. What is a brand identity? We have the commercial part, everything related to campaigns, assets, and we have also social media. And in social media also, it's important to understand what are the secrets of creating a good post, because everything in business, in all the domains, we have frameworks or mental models. We need to follow a structure, otherwise we will work very chaotic. And it's very important to focus on a specific structure. So I'm making sure that I'm sharing this structure with the students. What is interesting for me, I realized that teaching, for instance, inside a big company, in engineering, in business, in leadership, creativity, with AI, is the fact that 70% from AI mindset is the same. So you have 70% of AI principles that are tool-agnostic, because I'm interested to share to you a new way of thinking. And if tomorrow MidJourney will not be available anymore on the market, you must be able to work with any kind of AI tool or model. And you need to know, it's 5%, I will say right now, the importance of prompt engineering, because we move to intentionality.
I think the shortest-lived profession in the world.
Indeed.
Yeah, we had it for 1 year and we said, man, that is the future. and now it's dead.
So how can people come to your institute?
So I'm launching next week the official website because right now I was working behind the scenes. So last week, for instance, we had a masterclass with the Milano Institute of Fashion. So I was running a lot in a lot of directions, and the website will be available next week. I want to say that with the help of AI, I was building everything by myself. So Ivergent website. I have also my team of agents because I'm driving an organization that is human-led, but also we have different agents that are operating. And here it was really interesting engineering work that I put into this. So this background was essential to really be able to automate different parts of the business.
Are you using an already available orchestration framework, or have you built it yourself, specifically tailored on your needs?
So I'm not doing the same orchestration that is available today because I have, as I was working in a big tech, I'm thinking with 2-3 years. 2-3 years above, but not from development perspective. I'm not looking actually to the market all the time. What is the new tool that is appearing? Because I'm keeping an eye on research. When research says something, it seems that we are going to achieve more and more of AGI. But the interesting thing was also related to the business. I think the business is understanding in a wrong way this part of orchestration. And let me tell you from my experience from Microsoft, actually what are the layers of AI. So we have human and chatbot, which is very popular and everyone is using. Claude, ChatGPT, all these kind of tools. Then second will be human custom chatbot. And here we have projects from Claude or custom GPTs and so on and so forth. Then we have, and here we start to see the first results, because people are working right now from the industry. Everyone is calling me, but we are using the suite from Google and we don't see any productivity. Or we are using the suite from Microsoft, or we are using Claude, but we don't see productivity. Yes, because sometimes, even myself from my experience, sometimes you can go into a totally new direction and wrong, and you can spend more time of thinking about what Claude said. Rather than to do your actual work. So it's not working. Like, I know how to use Claude. Is not AI adoption, is AI usage, AI consumption. And at work and in our organization, we like to speak about redesigning of our processes, which is a super complicated process, but I will share more detail in a bit. Okay, so the third layer, we think about this business process, how we can redesign, and we have human AI-assisted workflow. As I said, is more. Then here is where marketing today is calling agentic or agent, which is not correct, because it's human-assisted, and you actually have workflow personalized for that person. So it can perform better the task and can be
quicker,
real,
more efficient,
and you can really measure. Now we go to agent or agentic, and we have application that is able to execute a specific task and come to you with a specific outcome. So it has an outcome for you, and it can be this agent orchestrated with multiple agents from technological point of view. But from business point of view, I really don't care how many agents are working behind the scenes.
As long as the job gets done.
Exactly. For me, it's important that outcome from AI has a business impact. It really influences my business into a positive way, which I'm considering different KPIs to help to grow my business. This is my objective as a business person, to grow my business. On the second part, I'm also interested to see how is the evaluation of this outcome and how I can benefit from this outcome moving further. In the sense that I want to be able to verify the the technical excellence behind this outcome, which is accuracy, is also what is the tool usage. I'm interested to automate and to see a business growth. I don't want to combine a lot of AI models that will generate me a higher cost rather than before.
Yeah.
So I need to look to this as well. I need to look also how I can rely on this model in production and when it sees the production data. And the most important, how I can track the model behavior. When was the agent was doing decisions, why, when the human was moving into the decision of that specific agent, and so
Practically
on.
the observability of the model, understanding the decisions and why they were taken in a certain way.
Exactly. I want a logo about what the model was doing and under what conditions. And here is where I think everything is going and moving forward. We will have a brain as a foundational layer. And these outcomes will be communicated one to each other with external agents, and in this way we redefine the entire organization. So let me give you an example. Probably it sounds too difficult right now. Myself for social media, because I was automated a lot of things in this part with my own business. And you need someone that is a social media strategist, a production team to perform that, another team to schedule and to look to the data. Well, right now, according to AI, for a basic, let's say, account, you can automatically do this with Claude and have new ideas from Claude, adapt to your brand, and at the end you just see the executed list of assets that you requested
already
from
scheduled
Claude.
to be posted.
Exactly. What I want to say is that maybe these roles will be interconnected in the future, even if we will have a human AI-assisted workflow. Right now we have the organization with multiple verticals. I think these verticals will become will be redefined. So engineering teams, for instance, an engineer can now be can be a technical product manager and an engineer. It must become like this.
Exactly. So the roles will be redefined they will be much less specialized than previously.
Exactly. A growth manager will be also an engineer.
Yeah.
Because it's important to understand how
data structures, how he can reach them, and so on.
And how he can bring actually the experience. Right now also I'm using AI for go-to-market. It's very interesting, and I'm still learning a lot of things. Of course, it's important the experience that the growth specialist is bringing on. But also it's a combination. It must, to become productive and to become faster, it will be needed to develop a workflow with his knowledge, expertise, but also he needs a bit of engineering thinking. Because this is happening, and I was participating to a masterclass on this, and I see that most of the people that are non-technically are implementing it in a wrong way. Even today, content creators, what we see online, they are saying, yeah, I'm using Claude Code and I developed over 30 agents. And it's the same thing that you will develop over 30 projects in Claude. Nothing fancy. This is not about using a Claude project or Claude Code. This won't make you more productive, because first of all, you invested a lot of time there, and you have to think about the agentic layer, how you link these agents together to satisfy a business outcome.
So right now, I see a glimpse of the companies of the future. In fact, the companies in your view, the companies of the future will be linked together by a central memory and a central brain that will be coordinating with help of humans different teams of agents.
Yes. And at the institute, I have a reference architecture about it. This will be the foundation layer, and as I mentioned, it will be more a system that will be intentional, in the sense that you will have a conversational interface. So this is how the systems will look in the future. almost everything will be conversational. You have this brain that decides based on the data that you have access to and based on your requirement what agent to call. If we refer, for instance, to ChatGPT, it was able you were able also to generate an image or to generate a document from the same interface. But now the same request will change in the sense that you will receive more information about your company. Everything will be really correlated. And from that interface, you can do a lot of things. You can have dashboards to see what are the agents from your company. What permissions roles do you have? It's very important also to talk about governance and responsible AI way.
How do you manage governance in this context?
Right now, governance must have also their own agents that will do different verifications.
So each type of person, let's call it, with his own rights, will have its own agent, which will be limited to the information that he can reach. This is the way.
So you, as a company, you have your own data.
Yes.
And information inside your company. Well, let's say that you want to develop a startup. Well, this data must be structured per layer of access and control, because you don't want, for instance, a CMO to have the same access as you as CEO you will have.
Yeah.
Or a CFO or a developer, let's say. So behind this, the scenes, you have this brain that will know all the access. And if I log in as a developer and I want to access some financial documents from the company, I'm not allowed to do this.
So this brain that you refer, is it a commercial product that you have built? It's a commercial product that you are using? It's an open source tool? It's a concept?
No, right now it's not possible to have all this brain. So this
future.
brain is, yes,
It's
I'm
a vision.
talking about the
She's talking about a
reference.
vision.
Yeah, I know.
The reference architecture about how the company will operate in the future.
Yeah.
Now so this is the top-down approach, and we have the bottom-up approach.
Yeah, so the reason why I'm asking is because this is what keeps me up at night, exactly what you said, and where I was kind of locked is in making sure that the governance is working as it should be. Yeah, because I think this is the biggest problem, because right now everything else is solved. The memory, everything is solvable. The governance is very difficult.
And yesterday or 2 days ago, Claude did great announcements into this way, but all the systems are developed to satisfy this business architecture in the future. Of course, there are issues with the data, there are issues with the people that are implementing, limitations of LLMs. We must be
aware of
this. And the way that you are designing this, where do you let AI to have decisions? What department will be followed by people decisions? Because you can't really, everyone is looking, let's automate, but it's not about this. You have to start with a strategy and then to adapt your strategy to the execution. But it's also important to start with the strategy. All the companies, because this is what I'm doing as an AI advisor, they are calling me because they are using AI, not adopting AI.
Yeah.
And
how do they know that they are using AI and not adopting AI?
Because they bought some licenses.
Okay, so they do not have the usage, in fact.
They bought the access.
And they have a big usage without business results.
Okay.
Yes, most of them are thinking about AI. So leaders are used to define a strategy, and the strategy was executed as defined until now to be able to accomplish those business objectives. Right now, the execution, it's sitting almost near to the strategy, but also executing without a strategy is not a long-term success, because you have to know what is your North Star, in what direction you go. So it must be a collaboration between the leadership and the entire organization. And I think most of the leaders were discussing with different leaders from different departments, and I said, let's do AI. So everyone did AI, adopted AI. Most of them did also some demos. but not many products are scalable. I'm not saying that that is not scalable to any organization, because there are organizations and organizations. So each organization is different. But you need to have the strategy in place. So you really need to think about what business process is worth to be augmented with AI. And based on this, with what resources, what risk, what will be the evidence and the outcome that this process will give to you, and you will have a business impact at the end. So you must have different KPIs and metrics when you think about what you are going to redesign with AI. And it's very hard, because you have to look also to the people, to look what is important for your business. Where do you want to see the first results? You can't do everything from the very beginning. You need a lot of programs to develop that are also correlated to the people upskilling, to the change management. So you really need to do a lot of reorganization across the organization. But also to build, this was the most successful models that I saw, AI champions or AI innovation hub or AI Center of Excellence, depending on the size of the organization. You have to have function exactly like I was serving for Microsoft. I was the only person that I was in charge of over 2,000 people, leaders and engineers, in order to have this AI adoption. So I had to translate the business objectives and KPIs to the technical side.
I have the same challenge on my end. What was the most efficient instrument that you have used to drive adoption?
Not instrument, people.
People. Okay.
People. My people were support engineers, of course, on different layers. This was a specific team. Then I had also a custom Copilot, a product team of engineers. And they didn't have time actually to adopt AI and to redesign the processes. So I had to convince them and to work together. So I was focusing on people to help me to drive this. As I mentioned, Copilot as itself was not enough, and it's not. You have to customize, and it was very hard because, as I mentioned, different time zones. It was very, very challenging.
And but what period of time did you?
So the rollout was officially started at the end of 2023, and it was 1 year because AI was not very powerful. Everything was
incipient at the beginning.
Okay, so
but right now in other organizations, when you do this type of approaches, I'm seeing successful rollouts in less than 3 months.
really?
What are you measuring generally? Are you measuring token consumption to measure success, or are you measuring times in processes?
Yes, of course. So time is money.
Time is money.
Time is money everywhere. I'm measuring the business impact, and we used to have different KPIs. Of course, on the engineering side, as I mentioned, we used to do a lot of measurements on usage as well. At the beginning, it was very interesting because the usage was higher, but in the end, we really had excellent KPIs and saved several millions in operations.
Okay.
Strong.
So, because we are getting towards the end, I know that you don't believe it, but it's actually more than 1 hour, and we are having this discussion, and I want to just to point out. So next week, so probably when we launch this, the institute is going to be, the website of the institute is going to be launched, and we're gonna leave the link into the description as well, so people could see it from there. And we usually have a question towards the end of the podcast, which says, which on your case, actually I heard it in some answers, but I'm trying to put it outside of your business that you're owning, the business that you're running. Is there anything that you automated for yourself personally?
Yes, everything I was doing was for me because I wanted to challenge myself, and I had different automations like emails, but I still want to have the human approach into responding to those emails. Or I have also another team of agents that is helping me with research, especially in summarization, because I want to be up to date. with the news, but with the news, I'm not looking a lot on it. And right now I'm working on an automation that will help me to publish more and more from my work and from my experiments. It takes a lot of time to do this, to write by hand and everything, because I'm also a detailed person and I love details. So I hope AI will help me to put out there a lot of useful materials. But most of them are following a skeleton that I provided. So it's right now I can say that most of the work that I'm doing this direction when I want to get closer to the people and to my audience is human-led rather than AI generated.
Strong.
Yeah, on Instagram I'm generating images and I'm dressing in different brand clothing because I want to share with the people, and I'm testing different ways of leveraging AI outside brands, and I'm experimenting a lot, but I also want to be closer to the people because it's not enough to work only with AI day by day, but I want to share with them that they can be authentic, and I think the story behind the person is the one that makes the link with the people when we talk about our task, our work on different social media platforms.
We have a strong debate in the company regarding authenticity versus AI generated. Authenticity versus AI.
I think here you have a good example about how you use authenticity combined with the AI.
Yeah.
For me, it's been fascinating discussion. I took some learnings, even though sometimes you guys were talking some things which I was like, what the hell are they talking about? But I think the people who will be interested. Yeah, you didn't go as deep.
Yes, I still have a lot of things to tell you.
Yeah, I know.
Well, that means we need to go for a second episode then around that.
But I want, before going, I want to let a question for the audience.
Please.
Please.
So if the execution will be free tomorrow and everything can be executed with AI, what will you choose to create?
Chills down my spine when you ask that question.
Well, I think we can invite everybody to leave the comments leave the answer into the comments, and we can see what comes out. But that's a very powerful question.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for joining, and hope we're gonna see you again on Rewire, because I think we still have things to discuss.
Yeah, I think we have like 3 more episodes.
Probably yes.
Thank you so much for having me.